Welcome back to ScaleSpeedworks. My name's Mike. Before we get started with today's episode, I first want to thank all of my subscribers for their continued support. I also have shop cards for anyone who is interested. As always, I have my email listed in the description below. So without any further delay, let's get started. Today, in this episode of Classic Kit Review, we're going to be taking a look at the 5th generation of the Pontiac Grand Prix. I'll cover a brief history of the car, then we'll dive into the kit itself. Thanks for stopping by today, and I hope you enjoy this episode of Classic Kit Review. Let's get started. The 5th generation Pontiac Grand Prix was introduced in 1987 for the 1988 model year and brought with it a host of changes. For the first time, it featured a front engine, front-wheel drive layout, and was also the first generation to be offered without a V8. In 1989, Pontiac tried to compensate for the lack of a V8 by offering a limited edition turbo coupe. The ASC McLaren package for both the 1989 and 1990 model years added wide bodywork, functional hood louvers, stiffer suspension, a fancier interior that seated fewer occupants, and a turbocharger, which inflated the new GM 3.1-liter V6 from 140 to 205 horsepower. A 4-speed automatic was the only transmission offered. In 1990, for the first time, an inline 4-cylinder was a standard engine offering in a Grand Prix. The Oldsmobile Quad 4 engine, although not the high output option offered in other GM vehicles, still produced 160 horsepower. For 1991, the Grand Prix Turbo Coupe was replaced by a new GTP model. This model sported a 3.4-liter dual overhead cam V6 that produced 210 horsepower with a 5-speed manual transmission, or 200 horsepower with the 4-speed automatic. Inside, the GTP was essentially the same as a previous turbo model. A special edition of the Grand Prix, offered only for the 1992 model year, was a Richard Petty edition, of which only 1,000 units were ever produced, making it one of the rarest Grand Prix out there. This edition was only available in red, white, or blue paint and came with special badging, along with special wheel well trim, ground effects, and a rear spoiler. The cars were only available with the dual overhead cam 3.4-liter V6 and had a transmission shift modification which allowed for a second gear start. 1993 was the last year for this body style, before a mid-cycle refresh occurred in 1994. A special edition Grand Prix with metallic green paint, gold wheels, and pinstriping was offered to buyers. This was also the last year that a manual transmission could be ordered for any of the trim packages. Revell kept up with the changing times at Pontiac and was able to produce 6 releases of the Grand Prix from 1989 to 1992. The initial 1989 release of the 1/25th scale Pontiac Grand Prix SE didn't have much to offer in terms of performance, but did include aero body panels for those wishing to build a custom version. Motor Trend Car of the Year text was prominently featured on the box art. The next release featured a turbocharged engine, but strangely, Revell called the car the Pontiac G.P. Turbo. A Revell Germany Grand Prix SE was the next release and showcased the Grand Prix well, in typical Revell Germany fashion. The Grand Prix was released in 1990, 1991, and 1992, with each release featuring the model year on the box art. The 1991 and 92 releases had updated parts, including a new front fascia and updated 3.4-liter non-turbocharged engine. As with most kits, the tooling was not updated for the mid-cycle refresh in 1994. Now that we have a little background of the car and the kit history, let's dive into the kit itself and take a look. This will be the first Revell kit we've looked at on this channel. So let's cut this thing open, let's see what we have. Really nice wheels. Chrome looks really good. Very, very detailed. Nice job. I'm really impressed with that. That's some real good looking chrome on there. Tires. We do have Goodyear Eagle VR50s. Those are some very nice looking tires. They're even left and right. That's pretty cool too. I like that. Let's take a look at the glass. Glass looks nice and sharp. Very crisp. Rear taillights have some texture on the inside. It's going to look real nice. Let's take a look at the decal sheet. Not much there. Turbo Grand Prix, 1989. All right. Let's get this back in the box, and then I'll open up the other parts. Revell with everything in one bag. Let's check out the body. This is interesting. No detail on here. Looks like you glue on the side body cladding. Underhood detail looks all right. Real crisp. I don't see any mold lines or anything on here. Body looks real good. There were a couple of loose parts. Looks like maybe part of the transmission. All right. Texture on the catalytic converter looks great. I know nobody sees that. It just shows you what kind of quality kit this is. Steering wheel looks excellent. Interior looks superb. Fantastic detail. Nice texture on the carpet. 3 pedals on the floor, the way it should be. Let's see the dashboard. Dashboard looks really nice as well. Even the vents, hard to see, but the vents here, here, and over here, and even over here have texture on them. Man, that is great detail. Top of the dash looks great. Door cards look good. Texture down here. That looks real good. A little bit of flash on the exhaust manifold there. Slight bit of flash on the exhaust manifold. Everything generally looks pretty good. There's a seat back. You can see that texture detail for the netting in there. That is pretty cool. These are all loose on the tree. Detail on the hood. That is fantastic. There's like a screen mesh over that. That looks great. Yeah, this thing really looks like it's going to build up real nice when it's that time. Chassis detail looks great. Seats, again, the seats look real nice. Here's the engine. Engine detail looks good. Yeah, just the tiniest little bit of flash on some of these parts. Here's some of the side body cladding. That looks good. That obviously gets glued on. Kind of strange that it wasn't glued on in the first place. Oh well. bumpers. Bumpers look nice and crisp and sharp. Again, just a little bit more engine detail, engine parts here. There's even some text down here on the bottom. It says Metric Hydromatic Division of GM. Pretty cool. Although there's a couple of sink marks in there, but doesn't matter. And nobody's gonna see it, but it's pretty cool. Hey, this kit looks great. Little center console detail. This kit looks great. The tooling is excellent. It's real crisp, real sharp. Everything looks fantastic on this kit. This is going to be a fun build one day. Well, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all of my subscribers. And I will see you guys on the next one.